Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be our last Ferocious Cup that we did at our local tournament, and we did pretty well, so yeah, go ahead and stay tuned. So, like I said, this is the last tournament we did before we are going to really start going into the Timeless Cup, so let's just go straight into it. So this is going to be a 5-round tournament. First round, we're against Quico. We haven't actually faced each other in the last 2 tournaments locally, so it's been a while, before Mirror Cup, I believe. So, we start Vaporeon into Alolan Ninetales. We're just going to try to get the Surfs off here. And we get the shield, and then we swap out into Nidoqueen. Maybe not the greatest swap, but we know that we can eventually take out this Ninetales later with the Vaporeon, depending on how the matchups go. And then we go into the Suicune matchup, which is an okay matchup. If we actually land the Earth Powers, it's going to do a lot of damage. And we're going to want to stay in here just as long as the Suicune's alive. So one more Earth Power here will take it out, or we'll get the last shield. Either way, I think we're pretty fine with it. We probably won't make it to a 3rd Earth Power, but I don't think this Bubble Beam will take us out, which is going to be a little problematic because they're going to have a lot of energy. Actually, it looks like they're going to have to use a Bubble Beam. Yeah, and Nidoqueen's going to get taken out here. So they are down to no energy, but I'm going to come in with Umbreon right here because we know that Alolan Ninetales is still in the back, and he actually does get another Bubble Beam off. So a little unlucky for us. Yeah, and this Foul Play is going to take out the Suicune, so I don't even bother going for the fast move mini, or the charge move mini game. And our Vaporeon ends up getting Ninetales super low. Which it's low enough that Umbreon can actually take it out with a Snarl, which is pretty rare, and we are Bubble Beamed, so we're 1 attack lower than normal. But this is an Alolan Raichu, so we know that the Foul Plays are going to be super effective. We did a QSA there since we knew we had a shield left, and we need to be getting 2 Foul Plays off. We need to get to 8 Snarls, so that's going to give us 1 extra. Always be thinking about where you can get your little incremental energy gains or anything like that. So we end up taking out the Alolan Raichu, and actually, Alolan Raichu and Raichu, we actually saw a lot at this tournament, and Wild Charge does a pretty good amount of damage, y'all, even on Umbreon. So I really like the team of 3 we had, B-Barrel, Umbreon, and Skuntank, and these are 3 pretty safe Pokemon, so I was fine just going in with this against most people, and actually I really like leading the Umbreon because even if there's a Alolan Ninetales, we can swap out into the Skuntank, and even if they swap, we'll still have the B-Barrel to take it out. Hopefully we'll have shields for that. But he stays in with the Nidoqueen, so we know we're able to get to 3 Foul Plays before he gets to the 2 Earth Powers. So you just have to know your matchups. Because we know we can get to this Earth Power or this Foul Play before he gets to the Earth Power. So since he's shielded, he's either going to let it go and lose the shield or go for a 2nd shield to get the Earth Power off. And he goes for that 2nd shield. Now, we can use a shield here, but we decided we're fine. We're going to come in with B-Barrel, and we're going to just farm it all the way down. Almost have a Surf's worth of energy against whatever's next. And the Suicune is next, and we have Hyper Fang, sorry. And we're going to get to that Hyper Fang before we get Bubble Beamed down once. So we are able to take a lot of its health out with that. And we're just going to be going for it again. Now he will get to that 2nd Bubble Beam before we get to our 2nd Hyper Fang, just the nature of Snarl. And I did decide to shield there even though I knew it was Bubble Beam, just because he's only got 1 Pokemon left. We still have a shield. Let's keep B-Barrel alive and see what is in the back here. And it is his own B-Barrel. Now, we've been Bubble Beam down twice, so we're not going to be doing very much damage. We will get taken out by a Hyper Fang at this point. We're actually pretty close to getting taken out by a Surf, but I don't think we would get taken out if he goes for Surf. Yeah. So, we're just fast attacking each other down, so now he's got a ton of energy. And I think we're just going to shield right here. Yeah. we didn't care what it was coming out. We just want to get to our crunch, and I believe he'll get to another surf. Oh no, we end up autoing it down, and the Nidoqueen that was at 1 HP in the back, we have a charge move for and just use it when it comes back in. So you'll see one major change that I did in this tournament, or one minor change, was that instead of bringing Vaporeon as my second water, I brought Suicune. So I really like Suicune on other people's teams, or I should say I hated playing against it. So I thought, you know, why not bring it on my own team? Let's make everyone else hate playing against it as well. But I didn't have a ton of practice with it, so I kind of just brought it in after I already had won the 2 games, just to try it out a little bit. And we swap out into Umbreon, and he swaps straight into Alola Ninetales, so this is really bad for us. We will be able to get to a second last resort, but he'll survive anyways and be able to charm us down. And he actually ends up shielding it, which is not great. And he actually did a charge move here too, so we're gaining a little bit of... he went for Psyshock. So we're gaining a little bit there, but we are still a little far behind, especially since there's a Lanoon in the back against the 2 of our waters, so that's not great. So probably shouldn't bring in double water against a team that has Lanoon and an electric. Yeah, probably my own fault. Maybe should have come with Umbreon and Skuntank in the back, or maybe just B-Barrel and Skuntank. Go ahead and spread the weaknesses around. We are going to take out the Ninetales here with this Bubble Beam, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But he's going to come in with Lanoon. I think we're going to shield this to try to get the Bubble Beam off, I believe. Oh, we're going for the Hydro Pump. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. He has a shield left, but I thought, you know, we've only shown Bubble Beam. Maybe he'll just not think about the fact that we have a second move on this Suicune. But he takes us out, and our B-Roll is going to go up against the last Mon, which is Suicune, which is an okay matchup. B-Roll actually would win in the even shields scenarios, but we're down a shield. So the odds of us winning this are pretty low. He'd have to not block this Hyper Fang, because this will be the strongest move we have, considering that we're going to continually get Bubble Beamed down. And I remember saying to him, oh, this is going to be a long match, but he also had Hydro Pump on his Suicune. And he hadn't used it all game, or all 3 games. I think he brought in Suicune at least 2 of those games, and we never saw a Hyper Beam, even when he had tons of energy and a lead. So definitely good play by him by keeping it hidden from us. And yeah, he's going to take this 3rd game. So that's round 1. We're going to take round 1. So we're coming into round 2 here against Road Warrior. We usually play against Road Warrior in the very last round. We usually both get to the finals, but we're meeting a little earlier here because our ratings are a little differing right now. And we go with the same just starting team as we did in the last one, just super safe starters. B-Barrel, Umbreon, and Skuntank, and he starts with his Umbreon, and we notice it has, we noticed from the time that we practiced with him that it has a Flower Crown, so currently doesn't have Last Resort. Just remember though, when December comes, there are going to probably be a ton of people who get Flower Crown EVs, get them to evolve into Umbreon so that they can trick people into thinking that they don't have Last Resort, and then when they do, they'll get the 1 free move off. So be wary of that come Community Day. Just assume, I think I'm just going to assume that everyone has the Community Day moves on all Pokemon because of that. So yeah, he ends up getting, we swap into Umbreon, he swaps out of Umbreon into Ninetales, or I'm sorry, we swap into Skuntank, and he ends up taking out our Skuntank with his Alola Ninetales. I think it was probably a mistake to have swapped that in. But he does take out our Skuntank, but we do get the shield advantage. And then B-Barrel comes in against his Umbreon, and we're just doing as much damage as we can because we know that our Umbreon is going to have a shield against his Umbreon and whatever's left, but we also know that it can't be the one thing that counters us on his team, which is the Alolan Ninetales we already took out. So what we're going to do here is just try to get a huge energy advantage, try to get up to 2 foul plays to go up against this last Mon, especially since we're not very pressured with the Dark Pulse. But it looked like we just QSA'd there, so instead of getting 2 foul plays, we just have the 1. And we do 1 more Snarl to get up to Last Resort since it is a Skuntank. And I figured he has to bait us at this point because we have a shield, so I'm just assuming this is a crunch, and it was. So pretty good guess by me, but it kind of made sense in the situation. If that had been a Sludge Bomb, we'd probably lose this match, especially seeing how close this was. But yeah, we still did, but it was a good call, so we end up taking this match, especially with the shield advantage there. So a really good first game by both of us, to be honest. And next game, I was like, you know what? I need to have something against the. I thought he was going to start the Umbreon again, but he starts V-Barrel, and I'm going to switch into my own V-Barrel, and we're just going to fast attack each other. And I don't know why I thought this couldn't be a Hyper Beam, a Hyper Fang. Oh no, this is the wrong match. Okay. So I did think that was going to be a Hyper Fang, and since he shielded, I thought, you know, he's probably going to want us to shield, or since we shielded, we're probably going to make it seem that we want him to shield, and he did shield, but we threw a Surf. So we have the energy advantage to get to the Hyper Fang before him, which would give us clear idea of what he's going to be doing with his shields. So if he ends up shielding that Hyper Fang, then we can decide to do something else in the moment. Probably let our V-Barrel take a Hyper Fang, and then if he does a Surf, we would have just taken it and survived anyways. And his Alolan Ninetales takes out our V-Barrel. His V-Barrel is down. He's up a shield, but now we're up 2 Pokemon to 1. And it is a Skuntank. And same scenario as him, but reversed. I need to take the shield, so I'm going to be throwing crunches, and they basically do the same DPE. It doesn't really matter, but you can get to more crunches in the amount of time. And I decided to throw out the Alolan Ninetales here because I wanted to eat a Sludge Bomb so that his Skuntank is back down to no energy in the one-on-one here, and that I can get to the Sludge Bomb to do more damage to him. And so we know he's too far away from a charge move here because we threw in the Alolan Ninetales that he had to expend all of his energy on. So I thought that was a really good play. Really interesting, even though it's a soft counter, you know, it really demands that you use you have to use a charge move on Alolan Ninetales there, especially with how much HP that his Skuntank did have. So same as the first round, since we're up 2-0, I decided to try out Suicune, and I was telling him that Bubble Beam and Foul Play are always going to be a CMP tie. So the game's just going to be whoever has the CMP is going to get it off first, and it just so happened to be me. And then whenever we throw the next move, if it's the same thing, it's going to swap CMPs, so he got his Foul Play off. Here. Now it really makes a difference because since we got the Bubble Beam off first, his first Foul Play was reduced, and his second is obviously reduced by 1 as well. But every future now, Foul Play is going to be reduced by 2 attack. So we decided to throw in Skuntank, so usually this would favor Umbreon, but since he's already lost a little bit of life and he's super reduced and doesn't have Last Resort, this is just too much in favor of Skuntank at this point. And he's probably just going to eat up this Sludge Wave, because he knows that he wants to get actually to his Sludge Bomb. He wants to get his Umbreon out of there as soon as possible. But he ends up deciding to switch, and I don't know why I'm not switching to Umbreon right here. Oh, because we switched at different times, so, oh no, my window is up. I really should be switching to Umbreon, take the good matchup while I can. Even if he has a Ninetales in the back. Yeah, this is a super late switch. It's probably going to end up costing me a shield. No, but we're probably going to fast attack it down now to have it looks like 7 to 8 energy advantage going into this next round, which is enough for 2 foul plays. Foul play might have done it there, plus it would have been fine to stay in the matchup. I don't know why I was in such a rush to use the Last Resort. And I did it again, and Last Resort is far worse against Nidoqueen than Foul Play is. Because you're getting the stab damage from Dark type on Foul Play, as well as it just being a better move overall. So we pulled a shield here, and I decided to shield since, well, all 3 of my Pokemon are alive anyways. I just figured that I can get to another Foul Play here before he gets to Earth Power. Now it is going to be super close whether or not I get to KO it, which I apparently don't, and he's going to Earth Power me out here, but he's on literal 1 HP, so any fast attack coming in from either of these Pokemon is going to do enough for that. And actually bringing the Skuntank just in case it isn't 1 HP, since Snarl does so little damage, and Poison Jab's going to do more, even though it is resisted. Alright, this is round 3 here against Zenraida. He was telling me he used to play a lot at this local tournament, and I was telling him I'm just pretty new, I think 4 or 5 months, and he's pretty much had a break for about 4 months from PvP, but he said he's going to be getting back into it full charge. And so I can't wait to do more matches with him. He seemed like a really awesome guy. We friended each other after this game, and hopefully in 30 days we'll get some practice in. Actually, it's been a couple days, so 28 days. And then we can start practicing each other. So he started with Raichu there. It was a shiny Raichu, and this is a shiny Umbreon, so he's really flexing on us with the shinies. And we had to get out of the Bibarel versus Raichu matchup because we would have got absolutely devastated. And we're in the Skuntank matchup, but since the swaps were a little off, I was able to get into that matchup with the Alolan Ninetales and finish off the Umbreon, which gives me a lot of energy coming into this Arcanine matchup. So if you look at his team, it's a little different than most teams. And I think that's awesome. It's always great to see new types coming in. And I even told him right here, I was like, I know that Arcanine has Wild Charge. And he said, I'm not even going to lie to you, you know it is. But I shielded before we even said any of that, but yeah. So this is probably Wild Charge, which was a Thunder Punch, so we survive. And we should have thrown the Hyper Fang, but I was getting a little nervous and just spamming, clicking around, but it didn't matter. The Water Pulse was enough there. Or not Water Pulse, Water Gun. And this was a very insanely close match. We ended up taking it because of the stored energy we had on Skuntank. I think it would have been close if we just did fast attacks, but I do think we would have won that in the fast attacks also. So this second game, I decided to go with a very basic, you know, the tried and true Bibarel Umbreon Skuntank. And he starts with Granbull. So Bibarel does not win this matchup, so I just do a couple of attacks and then swap into Skuntank, and then he swaps right into Umbreon. So we're at a clear disadvantage right now. I shouldn't have done this. I tried to go for a shield bait here, but good no call by him. And now you just know that the second one's not going to be a shield bait because of the desperation of the matchup. Oh, he doesn't shield it. I actually thought he was going to shield it there, and I would have been like in a really bad position. And I think he goes for a double Last Resort here. Yeah, Last Resort at 100 energy puts him down to 45. The Snarl will pick him back up to 55 to where he can do a second Last Resort. So really good energy management by him. Glad I didn't shield. Those are the type of tricksy plays that people do to gain a shield from you and then take your Pokemon out. And so this is really bad because both of our Pokemon are bad against this Granbull. We do take a shield, and then I decide to swap out because I just need to try to fast attack it down. I'll shield anything that he throws out. But we have a better chance with Umbreon versus something else. So I decide to pretty much sacrifice this this Bibarel. And he has Furret, which is also good against both the Pokemon that are left. So really good line of 3 he did here. Really, I'm pretty much just thinking about the next game already. because he's still got his Umbreon alive as well. And he has a shield, so he's probably going to shield this first move. Yeah. But we couldn't have made it to 2 surfs. Maybe. It would have been close, but I don't think we would have made it. And actually, Furt with Brick Break, we talked about in the last video, very good. Really good. And so I think that he's going to get to a Brick Break here. And maybe it brings us really low, but maybe I should have farmed like 3 more hits here. I end up doing 1, but maybe I should get a full foul plays worth to try to go into that Umbreon matchup, mirror match, because he is super low. Foul play would have been close. I'm not sure it KOs there. And he's got full energy anyways. It would have been a CMP thing, but his team of 3 there was a lot better than ours, no doubt. A lot of his Pokemon beat most of our Pokemon there. I decided to lead Umbreon here. Umbreon against Furt's an okay matchup. Umbreon does win, but the Brick Breaks do a lot of damage. So we QSA right here so that we can gain energy advantage. Since Brick Break is so fast of a move, we kind of just want to get ahead of it. And we want to be able to do 2 foul plays in a row, if possible, at some point, to take the shield and pull some more damage. We do it here, but his Furret's at such high HP still, and we're at like 30%. It's actually insane. But we should be able to beat it. Yeah, we should be able to beat it to the next Brick Break. And we can really see what he's going to do here. And it looks like he's going to just let his Furret go. We have 2 shields. We probably should use one here. Oh, interesting. I thought for sure we would have used one there to preserve the Umbreon, but yeah, we end up just losing it there. And now I'm really scared because we have a Alolan Ninetales coming in here against Vaporeon because our Nidoqueen would get absolutely destroyed. And he ends up swapping in Umbreon here. Now, in the moment, he had said that he thought he had Arcanine in the back, and yeah, when he ended up not having it, obviously we still have 2 shields, so we're just going to shield everything even though it's not doing a lot of damage to us, and we're just going to auto attack it all the way down, hopefully have enough to get to a Psyshock eventually during this matchup. I'm going to shield here also because if he ever gets to that Nidoqueen, we're going to get destroyed by the Water Gun. So I'm putting everything on the line in this matchup, and this Surf's going to take it. This Aqua Tail is going to take us out. And now I'm in this position where I'm like, ooh, I need the Poison Jabs just to take him completely down. And obviously, this game we got really lucky. We probably didn't deserve to win. His team was a lot better than ours. He really thought a lot about the meta, you can tell, because his team was pretty sick. I like the Arcanine because it's going to be fire, so it's good against Alolan Ninetales, and it's going to have that Wild Charge for the potential upsets against the water, especially against the waters, especially in a zero shield scenario. So he beats us on the lead. This is the 4th round against Shojal. He's actually the highest XP player in San Antonio. I think he's probably around 300 million XP. I'm probably getting that wrong, but he's the highest in San Antonio. And he beats us on the lead here. We swap into our Umbreon, and he actually swaps into Raichu. Not too familiar with this matchup, but we have seen that Wild Charge does do a ton of damage to us. But we end up taking a shield out of him and taking the Pokemon down. And he's got Umbreon here in the back. I think I should have QSA'd here. I noticed after this round, I thought about it, and I was like, why am I not QSAing all the time in these matches? Like, I'm not sure my mind was completely in these games. Like, not that I wasn't playing my bet, like, I wasn't playing to win, but I could tell I wasn't doing, like, I wasn't trying to gain every single advantage that I could, which would really have helped me out in these games. So he's going to end up autoing or fast attacking our Umbreon all the way down here. So we're in a really bad situation because he's probably got a foul play's worth of energy already. Plus he's got this shield. So if we do get to the Earth Power before his next foul play, I think I should have thrown the Earth Power right there, taken the shield, and then swapped into our own V-Barrel. But I think everything's written on the wall at this point. Like, we probably can't win this matchup, even if we bait the shield right here. I don't think we ever make it to another Hyper Fang. Yeah, because the Surf's just going to take us out as well. And then Nidoqueen versus B-Roll, we all know that matchup. Yeah, sure, I have an Earth Power, which may take it out anyways, but his Umbreon is, you know, at like half health. Actually, it's lower than I thought, but yeah, we're going to get taken out by this Foul Play for sure. It's got just farmed up way too much energy off of our Umbreon after the Raichu softened us up. So game 2, I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I don't really need Umbreon. I'm gonna just go in with Alolan Ninetales in that Umbreon slot instead. So I have the 2 Generalists of Bibarel and Skuntank with the volatile Pokemon of Alolan Ninetales. And that's going to be because I'm pretty sure he's always going to bring Umbreon. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why Umbreon is really awesome in this cup. Really insane. So I decided to take mine out so that his Alolan Ninetales wasn't as good. And then bring in my own Alolan Ninetales so that my Pokemon is really good against his. So this is an interesting switch into. So Skunktank's going to win this with an extreme energy advantage that we already have, because the crunches, we get to them faster, and since both Pokemon use Poison Jab, the less energy cost to move is going to be better. But I actually decide to let myself go and just farm down with the Bibarel. And actually this match, we both lagged out in the second Pokemon, and we decided to just leave. And apparently the Wi-Fi got turned off. And you can see in this game I'm on LTE at the top because the Wi-Fi in that place went down or something like that, something weird. So we restarted this matchup, and it actually went a lot differently than the first one. I was very far ahead in the first one, and this one I felt like I wasn't that far ahead, but I think we do still take this one, so I think we're just going to try to farm this all the way down and throw the Ice Beam onto the Raichu. I think this was another accidental swap. I didn't catch it just a second ago, but I think when we swapped from our Bibarel from his Raichu, he knew we were going to swap out of the bad matchup, and I think he just blind swapped. And then when we had Ninetales, I think he thought we were going to have Umbreon because that was what we led before. And I think in this game, I should have done the same thing. I should have definitely just brought Ninetales instead of Umbreon to give us a lot less things for him to hit against. Although this is a sick beginning, Bibarel cannot beat Umbreon. Since we're going to take a charge move anyways, we definitely should have just QSA'd there and waited for his either Surf or Hyper Fang. But we actually get to 2 before he gets to the first one, which is interesting. It means that he's actually just saving energy and probably just QSAing us. Yep. So this is... we actually did lose this game, and this is probably some of the reasons why. He's just playing a lot better than us right now. Like, he QSA'd, we didn't QSA. Yeah, we're up in the shield advantage, and now we're going to be able to take this out. But he swaps into Umbreon. I look at my team, and I'm like, what do I want to swap to? I really should have swapped straight to Skuntank right here. But I decide, you know what? I look at my team, and I'm like, Skuntank can take out Bibarel later, or my Bibarel can take out his Bibarel. And since I don't have Ninetales, I'm just going to try to take out this. But then I end up shielding right there and bringing in the Skuntank anyways. So it's just really bad plays right here. This game is not great. This round, you could see that I really wasn't at the top form of my game. But still, really good games. I'm obviously trying to win, but I'm just not doing it. There's things I'm just missing here that I wouldn't normally miss. So we have to go for the charge attack to take out the Umbreon because we're in fear that he's going to get enough for another charge move, which can be really bad, but actually isn't too bad in the end because he brings in Nidoqueen, and which means we're going to have a lot of time because Poison Jab's going to be resisted, that we can actually get to our own charge move here before we go out. But the Nidoqueen does have a ton of energy, and I remember thinking to myself, man, I hope his doesn't have Earthquake. And what do we see? Earthquake. That's the That's the decider right there. You know, this game's really close right here. I probably should swap in. Oh no, I'm super low on my B-Barrel. So I just stay in, try to do the autos, and then hope for the foul play here. But the Nidoqueen is still alive in the back. We need to do a foul play on the Nidoqueen, but it is up 2 or 3 poison jabs. Yep, and it gets to the Earth Power. Rip. We were 1 fast attack away, but I was very scared to stay in that B-Barrel matchup because Water Gun does do a ton of damage. And we were just, a little bit of miscount on the Nidoqueen, it seems. So either way, Sojal beat us, and we go into the final round against Arctic, 89, and we start B-Barrel into Skuntank. And I didn't realize that Surf and Crunch are CMP tie. Seems like every time. But I do like that if you do land the Surf, you can just fast attack it all the way down after that. It can't get to another Crunch. And he brings in the Alola Ninetales, and we decide our B-Roll is almost dead anyways. Let's just throw out the Surf here, and then we can bring in the Skuntank. And we remember that his Umbreon also doesn't have Last Resort. So we know that we're always going to want to bring our Umbreon against him because it can win the mirror match. Since it isn't really a mirror match and we are going to be winning that every time, that's just another Pokemon that Umbreon is not weak against. So the only weakness would be Alola Ninetales. So I assume that we're always going to bring Bibarel, Umbreon, and Skuntank because against his team it's just insane. Pretty much all 3 are generalists. 2 of them can beat the Ninetales matchup. Obviously energy and energy and shield dependent. So we take out the Nidoqueen there, and we remember that he has the Ninetales in the back, so we just swap out as soon as possible, which is right when it comes in, and we take it out. And like I was just thinking, yeah, it looks like we're going to use the same team again. So I guarantee use the same team all 3 games, unless I want to throw in a Suicune game at the end if we're up 2-0. And it seems like he's still choosing his team, so Bibarel into Alola Ninetales, it's not terrible for us. I think we're going to try to get to that Surf, and he actually swaps out, so we swap into our Umbreon, because Umbreon's going to be good against Bibarel, plus we need to get our Umbreon out there as soon as possible so that it can get weakened enough so that Alola Ninetales can't really farm us at any point. So I doubt I shield anything on this Umbreon, unless he actually does like 2 shields or something, because we do want to be pretty hurt when we go into the Alola Ninetales matchup. Yeah, and he just lets us take his Bibarel out completely because he wants to farm us down. So really good play by him there. And we're just throwing out the last of the energy that we have on our last resorts so that, you know, at least it's a little far down when we decide to bring in our Skuntank. And we have 2 shields still, and there's just 2 on 2 left, so we're definitely going to be shielding anything that comes through here. Psyshock is neutral damage, resisted by the dark, but then super effective against the poison typing of Skuntank. And it's a Nidoqueen coming in, so we're going to just try to burn its shields, and then just bring in Bibarel. He's going to be able to get to a second Surf here before a second Earth Power comes, so we're just going to shield the first Earth Power that's about to come right now. And if I remember, I think it's an Earthquake, actually. Yeah, Earthquake. So Earthquake's interesting because obviously it costs more than Earth Power. Makes me think he doesn't have Earth Power, but I know he does from the previous matchups. So going into the last round against Arctic, it looks like we are just going to go with the same old basic. But it's even strong, like I said, it's even stronger than normal because the only thing we have to worry about is the Alola Ninetales against the Umbreon. Everything else is just going to be good enough. So same match as the first round, except this time we get CMP, or in the first game against Arctic, except this time we won the CMP. So when you win the CMP as Bibarel, you can decide to shield to fully preserve Bibarel. And gain enough energy for another Surf almost coming into the next match. Now what this does is it gives you, obviously it gives you the lead advantage, which you would have gotten even if they got the crunch off, but it gives you a really high health B-Barrel. Now the only problem with that is that you're going to have so much HP that you're going to need to give up the switch advantage, which is obviously very risky. But we end up in the mirror match and he doesn't swap out, which means that he definitely doesn't have a Alolan Ninetales in the back. And if I were to guess, I would say B-Barrel or Nidoqueen? Probably B-Barrel. But since this mirror match isn't really a mirror match and it really favors us, it's really going to cost him a lot of shields to get through this matchup if he wants to win it. And we're going to, I think, shield this and just try to fast attack it down, because since he hasn't swapped in with an Alolan Ninetales when we were locked, we know it isn't one in the back, and we know that Umbreon's going to be good against anything left in the back anyways, with Foul Play. So, the writing's on the wall in this match, so I think he's just not even, he's decided not to shield at all because, well, the match is pretty much over, so just let it go. And, yeah, we always love playing against Arctic. We've gone on both Tour of Texas from San Antonio. We both have met up at each of those, so it's really always great to play against him and with him. So this is probably going to be the last Ferocious Cup tournament, like I said, but yeah, be prepared for Timeless Cup. I'm going to be practicing a lot, so I don't know how much really good videos I'm going to put up of like meta and all that. I'm still going to do a lot of the fun ones for Timeless, but until I do the big tournament, I think we're going to hold off on showing too many strategies that we develop. But hopefully the ones I do develop are good enough. So thanks again for watching the video. If you like, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, especially that subscribe one. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.